because if somebody's daughter, I will not say mine, somebody's daughter goes missing, had the missing person report been lodged after 2 hours or 4 hours, assumingly they could not have done that much of a search.
आपका जो आर्गुमेंट है बहुत थ्योरेटिकल है। जो सोशल मिलियू है रूरल एरियाज में, किसी की भी बच्ची घूमेगी वो पहले उसको भरसक ढूंढने का प्रयास करेगा, क्योंकि पुलिस में रिपोर्ट होते ही परिवार की प्रतिष्ठा और उस बालिका की प्रतिष्ठा दोनों पर जो है एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट आता है। तो आप इंडियन सोशल मिलियू में बात करिए, आप अमेरिकन ज्यूरिस्प्रूडेंस की बात मत करिए। जैसे आप लड़की घूमी और तुरंत रिपोर्ट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां तो वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड है, इट्स ओपन सोसाइटी।
Let's repeat application for the grant of bail minutes. First application was wrongly filed as an MCRC, being an atrocities matter. That came to be withdrawn. Then the duly constituted appeal was dismissed as withdrawn. Thereafter, the second application in the form of an appeal was dismissed, my lords. Now, this is the third application. I'll just give my lords a backdrop of the facts. Now, my lords, what happened is the deceased person in this case is a lady. I'll in any case refrain from taking her name, although there is no charge under 376.
Please, but still, let us
maintain the
let us respect the privacy of a woman.
Now, the deceased person in this case is a resident of village Kindrai, which falls within the territorial jurisdiction of police station Kotwali district, Sydney. She went missing on the 8th of November 2021 at 8 a.m.
8th November 2021.
जी 8/11/2021 सुबह 8 बजे 8 a.m. in the morning. A report that is a missing person report, sir, was lodged on the 9th of November 2021 at 2:25 p.m. in the afternoon.
Missing person report.
Now I've done the calculation, Millets. The deficit time is 30 hours and
missing person report at
2:25 p.m. on 9/11/2021.
And she was found missing on 8/11/21.
Yes, my lords.
At
8 a.m. in the morning.
8 a.m. in the morning, right.
So the time difference is 30 hours and 25 minutes. Now, Millets, there is absolutely no lead in the case. A dead body is recovered on the 28th of November 2021.
Dead body recovered. Kahan se?
This has been recovered beside village Kandipar, Kandipar. Kandipar. And this is situated within the territorial jurisdiction of PS Dunda Sivni, which is a different police station altogether. What I mean to argue is that that's quite a distance from the residence of the deceased person. Now, its identification process carried on for about 2 to 3 days after that. The police had some trouble, but later on the body came to be identified by the parents and the sister of the deceased as that of the deceased itself. Thereafter, Millets, on the 2nd of December 2021, two things happened. The first thing is that the accused person is taken into custody. Of course, a disclosure statement is recorded. And after that, the 161 statements of the parents and the sister of the deceased person is recorded for the first time on 2/12/2021, sir. Now, Millets, in their 161 statement, I'll be reading out the relevant portion.
That body identified kis tarikh ko hui hai?
This was identified, sir, on the same day, 2/12/2021.
2/12 को identify हुई.
They did not find any person to identify, so the body was buried. Then pictures were being circulated through WhatsApp. So of course the parents found out, somehow they reached, the body was exhumed, and after that the body was duly identified. There's even a DNA report which suggests that the body was in fact the biological child of the parents. So there is no dispute where the identification is concerned. In fact, the previous bail application was argued only on the ground of identification, and in the teeth of the DNA report, my lords was pleased to reject the entire argument, and I would now submit rightly so. Now, Millets, my argument is the 161 statement comes to be recorded on 2/12/2021. In that 161 statement, there are two disclosures which are made by the witnesses, which are the only two pieces of evidence against me. The first disclosure was that when this girl went missing, the chronology has been narrated in such a way that the 10th day from the date of Diwali that year, the sister and the mother of the deceased person received a phone call. In that phone call, she says that the sister was being threatened, and there seems to be a love affair between the accused person and the deceased. But now the accused, the sister
of the deceased.
Sister of the deceased person. I'll be reading out a statement also. And she says 10th day from Diwali. A second phone call is received, and she says on the 12th day from Diwali.
12th day she again received
received a phone call. Now, my lords would just note, subject to verification, I did my research. Diwali in the year 2021 fell on the 4th of November 2021. Our High Court calendar also says the same. The general calendar, Gregorian calendar also says the same. Now, by simple calculation, the first phone call would be on the 14th of November 2021. And the second phone call would be on the 16th of November 2021. And in this phone call, allegedly,
Deepavali was on
4th, 4/11/2021, sir. Now, in the 161 statement, she says that this boy is threatening me, he's kept me, he's not letting me go, and so on and so forth.
That deceased said this.
The deceased person told her sister and her mother over a phone call on the 14th and the 16th of November 2021. The second piece of evidence which goes against me is certain ornaments have been recovered from my possession, which later on identify as the ornaments of the mother of the deceased person, which she allegedly took along with her when she was running away from the house. Now, my lord, in the 161 statement again, the sister and the mother come up with an explanation that these ornaments were taken away from us.
उसके बाद तो कोर्ट में एग्जामिन हो गए ना ये.
जी, कोर्ट में एग्जाम. They haven't declared hostile. They haven't been declared hostile. They've supported the case.
They've supported.
They supported it.
Then what is left?
No, my submission is rather simple. They're supporting the case or they don't support the case.
Right.
These facts which
how you explain the recovery of gold ornament?
That is what I submit, Malaj. This may just fair with me. Insofar as the delayed information to the police, I don't think I'll require to take that argument any further. The argument is very self-explanatory that when information was received, and very incriminating information, the 161 statement reads in such a fashion that this boy is tormenting her, is not letting her go, is threatening her of dire consequences. Once that information was received on 14/11 and 16/11, there was no reason for the parents to keep quiet and never inform the police up to 2/12/2021, where the dead body was then recovered, and the disclosure statement was probably already with the police. Now, Melis, the second aspect comes to the ornaments. I prayed before my lord that the missing person report was lodged with a delay of 30 hours and 25 minutes. After that also there is no 161 statement as the prosecution story is. Now, in the missing person report, my lords, there is a column. It's a formatted document. In that column, there is a column number 5, which specifically asks, and there's a presumption that the police person would have asked that, and after 30 hours of extensive search, because my daughter has gone missing, they would realize everything.
You are representing accused.
Yes, of course. Sorry. The witness is his daughter going missing. After 30 hours and 25 minutes, the police puts this question to them. Did this girl, was she wearing any ornaments?
Forget about it,
my lords.
Whether question was put or not, how you explain the recovery of ornaments from your possession?
The ornaments were planted later on, my lords, is what I said. They were planted later on. And how
have you put this suggestion to somebody?
The IU hasn't come yet.
So let him come then.
For that purpose, my lords, may just see the trial program. 45 witnesses.
Okay. That is for the IU to examine and the prosecution to decide. Court cannot interfere in it. Let IU be examined.
Well, the IU will not be examined anytime recently. And my lords will just bear with me when I say, if my lords will just examine this aspect of the recovery, my lords will just permit me to take my lords into that aspect of the missing person report. Because if somebody's daughter, I will not say mine, somebody's daughter goes missing, had the missing person report been lodged after 2 hours or 4 hours, assumingly, they could not have done that much of a search.
आपका जो argument है बहुत theoretical है. जो social milieu है rural areas में किसी की भी बच्ची घूमेगी वो पहले उसको भरसक ढूंढने का प्रयास करेगा, क्योंकि पुलिस में रिपोर्ट होते ही परिवार की प्रतिष्ठा और उस बालिका की प्रतिष्ठा दोनों पर जो है एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट आता है. तो आप इंडियन सोशल मिलियो में बात करिए, आप अमेरिकन जूरिस्प्रूडेंस की बात मत करिए. आप लड़की घूमी और तुरंत रिपोर्ट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां तो वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड है, इट्स ओपन सोसाइटी. ठीक है, so let us talk about Indian milieu, especially looking to the fact that the disease was belonging to a rural area. Duda Sivni is a small place.
Very small.
Was belonging
the ornaments
and नहीं ornaments में बात में आएंगे. आपका पहला आर्गुमेंट का उसका जवाब सुन लीजिए. ठीक है, तो 30 घंटे जो है बहुत बड़ी चीज नहीं है. आदमी रिश्तेदार नातेदार दोस्तों के यहाँ देखेगा पहले कि कहाँ बच्चा कहीं चला तो नहीं गया, बच्चा कोई कई बार बच्चे रूठ के भी चले
जी,
जाते
बिल्कुल
हैं.
सही बात है सर.
Then after making an extensive search, when somebody fails
जी,
to discover his or her child,
my
then report comes to be lodged as a last resort.
absolutely correct.
So that 30 hour is not going
That
to go in your
30-hour
favor.
argument fails.
Fails, yes.
The second
Now,
part,
now
my lord.
second part, recovery of gold
No,
ornaments.
before I go to the recovery, there's a second part to this also, my lord.
जी,
Assuming that 30 hours they didn't realize.
जी.
After that, they go lodge a report with the police. After that, they go back home, presumably. Now, from the
Nobody is going to search for the ornaments first. घर में ornaments जो रखे जाते हैं किसी के भी घर में मिडिल क्लास फैमिली में या लोअर मिडिल क्लास फैमिली में.
जी,
I come from a middle class family.
so do I.
रोज जाके कोई नहीं देखता है कि कहाँ रखा हुआ है. तो जब कभी आप किसी ओकेजन के लिए अलमारी खोलते हैं, लॉकर खोलते हैं और पाते हैं कि ये चीज नहीं है, then you discover
बिल्कुल
कि ये
सही
चीज
बात.
कहाँ चली.
बिल्कुल सही बात.
ऐसा नहीं होता रोज अलमारी खोलकर जो है गिन रहे हैं
कि कितने जेवर बचे हैं,
इतने
कितने.
हार, इतने कड़े,
बिल्कुल सही बात.
इतनी अंगूठियां.
बिल्कुल सही बात है सर. पर अगर गवाह खुद कहता है कि हमको अगले दिन पता चल गया था कि ऑर्नामेंट्स गायब थे,
ठीक है,
वो अपने 161 के बयान में ही बोल देते हैं सर. मैं जस्ट रीड आउट दैट
हाँ
पार्ट.
पढ़िए.
जी, थैंक यू सर. I am reading, sir, the 161 statements. This Malaz is the sister.
Yes,
She was the one who received the phone call and everything.
Yes.
Malaz.
she has been examined as
She
PW.
has been examined. I'll just point that out.
PW5.
PW5 was what my friend says. I'm just reading out her 161 statement.
PW5 is Dr. Rakesh.
No, sorry, PW4.
PW4 जी.
No, I am reading the 161
हाँ,
statement.
पढ़िए
sir.
पढ़िए.
161 statement says, रंजीता के गुमने के दूसरे दिन दिनांक 9/11/2021 को मैंने व मेरी माँ, that's the name of the mother, ने किंद्रई थाने में जाकर डिसीज्ड के गुमने की रिपोर्ट लिखाई थी. बाद में हम लोगों ने घर में देखा, घर में मेरा मंगलसूत्र व मेरी माँ अनीता करियाम सॉरी का मंगलसूत्र एवं एक चांदी का करदन घर में नहीं था. हम लोग डिसीज्ड के गुमने के बाद लगातार डिसीज्ड का पता करते रहे. तभी दीपावली के 10 दिन पहले सच एंड सच ने मुझे कॉन्फ्रेंस में लेकर बताया कि उसके पास डिसीज्ड का फोन आया था. Now I am only submitting. It is the case for the prosecution itself that the fact that the ornaments were missing came soon into the knowledge of the witnesses. My only question before my lords is, assuming that my lords are absolutely correct, my lords has a vast experience in the rural milieu and to deal with those aspects. But the fact is that those 30 hours may be condoned for the prosecution. But after the 9th of November 2021, when they discovered that the ornaments have gone missing,
जी.
on the 2nd of December 2021, after the accused person was taken into custody, after the disclosure statement was made, then only do they disclose this fact to the police that yes, in fact, our ornaments had also gone missing. Even if there was a statement one day prior to the accused person's confessional statement, this vice which the prosecution story suffers from, that it could be a case that because plantation of evidence, my lords, is never something which I'll be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
जी.
That has to be examined in the light of the prosecution story itself, whether there is a chance where the police could have planted. I think that's the language which the jurisprudence of planting comes down. Now, my only humble submission is, right till the day the accused person is taken into custody, his confessional statement is recorded. Till then, there is no murmur of the ornaments having gone missing.
जी.
After that, yes, the ornament, because the police, of course, had no other evidence. Now, it is true that the dead body of the girl has been found. There is, apart from these two circumstances, that is the phone call as well as the recovery of the ornament, there seems to be no other circumstance subject to correction from my learned friend's side. Now, my only humble submission is, my lords, the fact that if now my lords will just have the trial program, I just want to point out, although it is not this court's concern as to how many witnesses the prosecution wishes to examine, we can get a fair idea of how long the trial will presumably last when we see the trial program.
You are only required to prima facie establish your innocence
Yes.
to get a bail.
Yes. Now, my lords, insofar as the two pieces of evidence are concerned, my arguments I have put across to my lords, I won't repeat myself.
Right.
The independent witnesses in the case, which suffer from the chance that they could be won over, they have been examined.
Right.
And the fact is that the trial program is annexure A3 on page 20 and 21, which disclose that there are 42 prosecution witnesses, my lords. I don't say that the trial court is delaying the trial, but I'm saying in all fairness, it seems that this trial will go on for few more years to be fair. Prima facie, the prosecution suffers.
Shri Vishal Vincent Rajendra Daniel, Senate Counsel for the appellant. The third criminal appeal filed on behalf of the appellant under section 14-capital A within bracket 1 of the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. Full stop. Case crime number 572 of 2021 is registered at Police Station Douda Sivni, District Sivni, Madhya Pradesh for offence under section 302, 201 IPC and section 3 within bracket 2 another bracket Roman 5 SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. Applicant is in custody since 2/12/2021.